Hi guys, welcome back to Dave Astrology. Today we are going to be talking about the transit of Jupiter, which is happening from May 14th onwards into the sign of Gemini. And this video is being recorded for Sagittarius zodiac, and you can watch this both from a Sagittarius rising as well as Sagittarius moon perspective. Now, guys, Jupiter happens to be your main lord. He's the lord of your Rashi, the lord of your Lagna. And this transit becomes hyper important for you folks. You have to also understand that I am recording this video for the duration where Jupiter is going to be staying in the sign of Gemini itself from May 14th all the way till October 18th, post which it will be transiting into the sign of Cancer. Yes, it will become retrograde and come back into the sign of Gemini again in 2026, but we will make a fresh video keeping in mind the retrograded aspect of Jupiter during that point in time. So until then, what we are going to understand is that how Jupiter, which happens to be the lord of your first house, transiting into the seventh house for you, and what sort of an impact with this transit can be created for the next 5-6 months duration. So without further ado, folks, let's jump into the video and understand what this transit brings to the table. So, guys, Jupiter happens to be the lord of your first house as well as your fourth house, which means he holds two very important portfolios of your life. Being the lord of the first house, Rashi lord, Lagna lord, whatever, howsoever you are observing this video, watching this video, he becomes so crucial because he denotes your health, your personality, your being, your emotions, your goals, your targets, your success, your failure, and thereby movement of the Lagna Lord, the movement of the Rashi Lord itself is so hypercritical. Jupiter is coming into the sign of Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury, and Jupiter does not have a greater relationship with Mercury for that matter. In fact, in the Kari Purush chart, if you see, that is ruling the third house itself, which is a Maran Karaka position for this Jupiter. So when this Jupiter comes into the sign of Gemini, it is tad bit difficult situation, but at the same time, he happens to be coming into the seventh house, which means that definitely for Sagittarius folks, there is going to be an auspicious event of some sort which can be transpiring during the course of this transit. Whilst Jupiter is direct in Gemini, between May to October, it will give you a tremendous opportunity to get into formal partnerships of some sort. This means that you could be materializing your marriage. This means you could be materializing new relationships from a business perspective. And that can, I cannot emphasize enough on the positivity and the auspiciousness of this transit for you folks. So first and foremost, what I observe is that people who've been looking forward to get married, who are of marriageable age, or you are looking forward to transpire into some sort of a new journey in your partnerships perspective, in your business life perspective, Sagittarius, you will have one of the best opportunities to initiate those formal relationships in your life. And they will turn out more or less positive thanks to the great aspects you are getting from this Jupiter. And we will come to the aspects in a bit. But let's deep dive into what the Lagna Lord, Rashi Lord's transit into the seventh house means for us. It would also mean that people who are already married, my first inference was people who are single and looking forward to get married, but people who are already married, people who are already running some sort of a business, they are self-employed, they are into a profession that allows them to employ more people as well, they are going to see a definitive expansion of some sort. For example, if you are married, you could find that your relationship with your spouse, with your partner is going to now go at a spiritual level as well. You are going to see a much more comprehensive bond develop between the two of you. It is going to elevate the kind of interest, the kind of acknowledgement, the kind of love that you share between yourselves. There will be a lot more mutual respect. There will be a lot more care in this transit. And it's a positive thing. Yes, I know Jupiter coming into the any of the houses tends to sort of diminish the impact in that particular house versus the aspects, but I still see positivity coming in from Jupiter into the seventh house placement for you folks. If you are currently in some sort of a profession where you are self employed or you are running your own business, I see fructification of new partnerships, forging new alliances, you looking forward to getting connected with new people, new vendors, new suppliers, and figuring out as to what can enable you for an additional growth. Now, yes, there will be some sort of resistance also that might come your way. But eventually, you will have the ability to overcome those resistance through your sheer power of explanation, your willpower, your intent to guide, mentor, counsel people that this is why you are taking a certain approach and why they should continue to trust you, partner you, or expand with you in that partnership. So, guys, this Jupiter is also going to give you a lot of positive mindset. Along with that, to your partners too, they will also have a lot of positive mindset towards you. So, it is going to be a mutual thing. I don't want you to have any kind of ego that you are the one who is doing everything. So, yes, there could be initial hurdles that you might find in terms of expansion, but that will sail through. It is going to be prominent in your chart in the next 4 5 months. The other bit is that seventh house denotes opposition. So, obstacles in life usually might increase to a certain extent. And first and foremost, challenger could be your partner itself. They might question you, they might challenge you on certain decisions. They would not be demeaning you essentially, but they would be thinking in the best positive sense as to, what could be better. What could you explore better, deliver better, think better in your profession, in your career, in your life? They might question your food habits. They might question your day to day lifestyle. They might question your decisions at times. And I will recommend you folks that please do not construe that in a negative direction because they are doing it only to enable you and become a better individual. In fact, if you have a strong Jupiter in your natal chart, you are automatically going to be extremely receptive. You will realize that your partner might become more of a preacher, a mentor of sorts for this duration towards you. So that is another good bit. I see that in a positive light itself. There is also a definitive possibility of you and your partner, or you either traveling a long distance with your partner, having some sort of relocation because the fourth lord is also moving four places away to itself, or it might happen that you might have to travel for a long distance only to find new partners, new business propositions, and thereby long journeys are going to be extremely positive for you. And when I'm looking at long journeys, I'm looking essentially for journeys that you have to take on a flight or at least on a long distance train, multiple hours of journeys in a train. That could also materialize in a very positive direction. So, Sagis, if an opportunity arises where you have to travel, where you have to come out of your comfort zone, please do not shy away from such a situation. Just go ahead and explore it. The other bit that you will notice is that the fourth lord is four paces away. You are going to find your comfort at your home. Your mental peace, your satisfaction, your emotions are going to expand at your home with your family. There is also a possibility that you will take some long distance travel, some flight led travel along with your family members. It could be a posh travel that you might want to enjoy. I also anticipate with this transit, there will be a chance of you acquiring something important, most importantly with a real estate or property asset of some sort, but it will be a joint asset, not an individual purchase. I anticipate a joint acquisition of something precious coming in your way during this period. If many of you are looking forward to, let's say, acquire a home, new property, acquisition of some sort of an asset, maybe a digital asset, that can materialize in a joint proposition for you guys. But since this Jupiter is coming into the sign of Gemini, you have to understand, guys, that Jupiter will be tad bit uncomfortable. He is also coming into the 7th position, flipping itself from Lagna where he likes. But I am still okay with Jupiter coming into Kendra, into the 1, 4, 7, 10 houses. See, Jupiter does pretty well in 1, 4, and 10 versus 7. At least in my belief, in how I rate it in its presence. So when he is coming into this Gemini sign into the 7th position, there will be situations of some argumentative scenarios propping up or some sort of challenges with your partner. It is not something which is separative by nature. It is just something, as I was mentioning earlier, questioning, probing each other as to, challenging each other in terms of principles, in terms of roadmap. It is highly possible that you might want to approach on a certain path in a certain direction, but your partner, your spouse might want to challenge you and they might have an alternate thought process. So I think it is also important for you to have a lot of openness during this period, to be receptive to ideas and see what can and cannot work out for you guys. Now, guys, let us quickly evaluate and understand what would the aspects of this Jupiter mean for you. So, your Lagna Lord and your 4th Lord is acting into your 11th house from the 7th house, which means that any kind of wish fulfillment, desires, goals, objectives, targets that you have been chasing, this is going to be a period, Sagittarius, fabulous period for you guys to materialize those goals. You see, it is your Rashi Lord, your Lagna Lord, who's giving that aspect into the 11th, which means he is going to leave no stone unturned for you to achieve, to materialize those things. And I highly believe that those targets, if related to 4th house, means related to your sanity, your peace of mind, your mother's well-being, your asset acquisition of some sort, purchasing a property, movable, immovable assets, some kind of precious acquisition. In fact, even knowledge. People who are looking forward to educate themselves, get some degree, get into some kind of a new college. Students, if you are watching this video, for you guys as well. Because 4th house represents knowledge. And Jupiter has gone 4th to 4th into the 7th house. Means you will be getting a possibility of expansion of your knowledge as well during this period, if you are setting the goal, if you are setting the target in the right direction. And thus, Jupiter's aspect into that is becoming extremely crucial for you folks. The other bit that I am realizing is that Jupiter is giving an aspect back to the ascendant sign as well, which means that he is going to be giving or imparting you a lot of knowledge, a lot of clarity. You are going to get that sense of abundance, self-belief, prosperity will automatically come into your life. It will be bestowed into your life, Sagittarius. You are anyways people who are high on principles in general. You have certain, self-moral compass, self-protocol that you define for yourself. So you guys are good with that. But it is going to get sort of an catalyst impact. It is going to get a heightened impact in terms of how you produce much better outcome of what you are capable of. So that is another good possibility coming into play. However, it also brings the risks of you adding more weight to yourself. Ask Scorpios who've been dealing with this problem right before you, or maybe the Taurus sign. So weight gain is going to be an issue which is going to come into play for you folks now onwards, and you will be impacted with it. Just look at me. I have put on weight in the last 1 year or so since Jupiter was in my 7th. So you are going to definitely see that shift come into play, because I think whilst your food habits would be not so tamasic for that matter, unless and until Jupiter is, disturbed in your natal chart for that matter. But what I believe is that whatever you eat is going to get in. I mean, Jupiter denotes fat. So some of that is going to stick into your body. This might happen to your spouse, partners as well. So if you are married, if that connection is coming into play, that is also going to be a possibility which is going to be reflecting for both you as well as your partner. Now, this also means that some sort of spiritual growth is going to happen or will be required. In fact, if you feel stuck at any point in time, if you feel that you are not able to accomplish your goals, if you feel that there is not enough momentum you are getting, even though when you are trying, or there are a lot of initial hurdles coming in your way, please do not drop the ball. Bringing some sort of a practice, a daily regimen in your life, where you inculcate, lighting up a diya, lighting up a candle, inside your home altar, your home temple, or whatever place of worship you believe in, is going to be very, very important. I now realize that Jupiter is giving an aspect into the ninth aspect into your third house as well, which means if you can inculcate a habit of just walking to any of the nearby temples or places of worship in whatever religion you believe in, it is going to be highly impactful for you. I will suggest you to bring that to your regular habit so that you can do, you have the divine intervention, divine strength, spiritual strength to overcome those problems. The other bit that I also notice is that Jupiter's aspect, ninth aspect specifically into your third house, is going to bring a lot of prosperity towards your siblings, towards your family members. They are going to benefit from your benediction as well. You could be the guiding light, the the mentor, the guru for them for this period, where you give them insights as to what can be done to make things better in life in general. So that is another key aspect you have to keep in mind. Then, as I was talking about hobbies, you could start certain habits of writing journal. You could start, reading about spiritual books, about self-learning, self-improvement habits. Those kind of tendencies are now going to come into you. You are going to find ways where you can gain the knowledge to improve yourself. Sagittarius, beautiful thing this is happening, and I am telling you this with experience. In the last 1 year, for being a Scorpio ascendant, I literally felt it very closely that I've added a lot to my knowledge. It has been extremely draining, tiring, demanding period for me, but it has definitely widened my horizons personally as well. I've been able to look into different pockets of life with a different perspective, understand domains that I'm not involved in my life, grasp that and inculcate some form of learning which has shaped, say, my astrology channel better, which has shaped my, articulation better, giving a wider perspective whilst talking to you guys when you guys come to me for your personal consultations. Yes, I impart my knowledge in terms of sharing what can be done better, but I get to learn from a lot from you folks as well. So the point I'm trying to make is, Sagittarius, you are going to get a phenomenal opportunity to grab additional perspectives, to accomplish that in the form of learnings, and that is seen through the third house. So your intent to work hard in that direction, because it is your strength, it is your self-belief, your hard work, your enterprising nature. And Sagittarius, it can be on the rise, it will be on the rise. So you should make full use of it. Do not drop the ball in terms of being lazy, because sometimes Jupiter's connection with the third also makes a person lazy. But if you can make sure that you work harder, and Saturn is going to make you do that. By the way, if you have not watched my Saturn video moving into Pisces, you must revisit and do that, because Saturn is sitting in your fourth house and aspecting your first house. And that Saturn will become retrograde, come in conjunction with Rahu in your third house in retrogression from July onwards, where it will stay all the way till November. So, you see, there will be that window where third house will become extremely active, which means your effort, your hard work, your travel could increase at this point in time. People who are already in traveling rules, you might see a lot of traction in your business, in your profession, in your career, and you might have to do a lot of things during this point in time. So that could also become extremely crucial. Then I also see that any kind of association for people who are in professions, say in medical industry, if you are in banking domain where you have to travel within the city limits and meet your clients and customers, in insurance sectors, people who are in food delivery related businesses, food industry in general for that matter, transport, travel of some sorts, but not long distances, guys, and not heavy equipments. All of those areas, you are going to see some definite positive traction. In fact, people who are associated in teaching profession, consulting lines, and you have to go ahead and meet into nearby cities as well. Transfer opportunities arising for you to work into a new city, new location can also come into play, Sagittarius. You have to keep that into mind as well. All in all, I think Sagittarius, for you, it is a fabulous period. Jupiter's transit coming into the seventh, it is going to propagate your business opportunities. It is going to expand your horizons from a partnerships perspective, marital biz perspective, any kind of wish, fulfillment, goals, objectives, no matter from what walk of life you come from. You're a student watching this video, homemaker, business person, job person, employed somewhere. From all avenues, I definitely see the possibility of you accomplishing your goals as long as you are bringing that self learning into you. Remember that aspect into the Lagna and the effort. Third house. If you are going to bring all of this together in cohesion, the impact is going to be something stellar. All right. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, then smash on that like button, subscribe to Dev Astrology, and keep watching. Mahadev.